when we get something, it's an invitation to bid. Well, we manage our invitations to bid through BuildingConnected, right? So then we get an invitation to bid. That's a project. So from my understanding, follow-up starts at the project and not at the client. We need to have a project that I can bid to 3 or 4 different clients and it all be logged, not a client bid a project, then I have to go to another client and log another project. And if I have 10 general contractors bidding a casino, that is very inefficient. Plus it's it messes up all the statistics. It messes up all the numbers. It looks like Todd bid $70 million last week, and he didn't. He bid one $10 million job 7 times to 7 different contractors. And so it logs weird. I'm sure there's some hacky ways to get around it, but frankly, I'm trying to find a solution that at its nature works for us. And then if we have to do a few hacky things, not everything, to hack around some stuff, there's always a way around it, but it can get intense on setup and trying to execute on that.
I just want to show you, and you may have seen this already, but the structure of the system, exactly what you were talking about earlier. So as opposed to in HubSpot that you're used to, or Pipedrive being contact-based, we're bid-based, which allows you to have profiles for all of your different general contractors, any other constituents, but actually tag those contractors into the bid itself, but having one bid, as opposed to, like you were just explaining, Paul, having to duplicate the bid and all the different contact profiles, inflating the pipeline, all that kind of scenario that you just described. Same thing with the communication. So if you're working with one general contractor and you're bidding 5 different projects to them at a time, the communication tracking is going to go to the correct project, not just to the GC profile. So if you've bid 5 different projects over the last month with them, you're not sorting through all those different conversations. Everything is on the proper project page, so that the purpose is we can go into follow-up, I can click on the bid page, and I can see everything about that particular opportunity in one spot.
Yeah, that's another key part, is the communication being based on the project. Because we send emails, we have contractors or, estimators at our GC firm that will bid 20, 30 jobs in a month to.
Right.
When we send an email to them about a project, it can get confusing which project we're emailing on, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, keeping it very much project based, and the communication surrounding and being saved to that project is key.
Okay. This is the project page or the bid page where everything about it lives. So, address information, the project data that you're collecting about the project, any of those details are obviously customizable, changing fields, drop downs, text fields, whatever you need to. But this part is really the key piece for the pain point that you guys have about keeping those GCs straight. So you can see I have multiple different companies on this one particular bid. So this is where you would put all the GCs that you're bidding to on a particular project. Some teams like to track what they're bidding to each. Some of the bids are different for each GC, so they like to track that. We have a competitor module if you're tracking any competitors, but this area is where you can have 1 or 10 on a particular project, but it's all in one spot. What this does though is it obviously connects that particular GC to this project, so that if I were to go to one of their company profiles, I can click on the projects tab and I'm going to see a list of all of the projects past, present, or future that I have going on with this particular company. You guys imagine that streamlines that a little bit or a lot bit?
For sure.
Okay, so the communications then are down at the bottom of the page. So email correspondence back and forth. This can be tracked a variety of different ways, but it's based on the subject line, which is how it goes to the project itself, as opposed to the contact's profile. So once you track a thread once, all correspondence back and forth will go directly into the system. So you're seeing the full history of the conversations related to that project with that particular GC.